It's me, Melissa Marie. As always, I'm so excited because I have a great video to show you. So this video is about breathing life, new life into old things, turning old into something new, specifically cushions. We don't use these anymore. Instead of getting rid of them, we're going to use old things that we don't use. A pillowcase that doesn't have its match anymore. It has a little stitching issues. A shirt my son no longer uses. An old pillowcase that he only likes one side of. An old shirt I never used. These things we're going to repurpose as pillowcase covers for these cushions so we can breathe life into old things that we're not using and make them new and just have something great and fun to do. And it's just a creative way to repurposing and making old things into new. I hope you enjoy the video.
The first thing we're going to do is cut a rectangular piece out of the side of the shirt that you want to use. Once you go ahead and cut that, you're going to cut a rectangular piece outside of the next piece of clothing or pillowcase that you're going to use, or cloth. In this case, I did cut with this side showing. However, my son preferred to use the other side for the casing, as this will be his pillow. So those are the two pieces that we're going to use. Now it's time to fit the cushion to make sure we only need about an inch of extra material around it. So I'm cutting off some of the excess material here so we don't have to work with too much. But it's important to leave some, as we will need that to close the pillow at the end, the casing for the pillow at the end. And now I'm just cutting the excess material off of the shirt to match that of what we did for the pillowcase. Now that we have those pieces together, you're going to match them up. They may not be perfect, but as close as possible, and pin them in place so that they don't move while you're sewing. And also note that they are inside out. The pieces that we want to show for the casing of the pillow are both inward at this moment. Now we are starting to sew. Basically, the method I'm using, and I'm not a professional sewer or anything, but I'm going in through one side. When I get to the other side, I'm going almost backwards to where I started from to meet the thread that I just initially did. Then I overlap forward. Then I go back to the piece that was initially sewed. And I have a bit of a closer view here so you can see that as well. So once we go out, we're going to go in through to the other side. And then we're going to double back to the prior thread that was there. And here it is again. We're there. Now we're going to go forward. And we're going to double back in. So there it is. So it overlaps through the last piece that we did. And I'll show it to you on another piece of fabric that's a little bit more easily, more visible, I should say. So there it is again, going in. Go forward. And then when you come back through, you're going to go backwards into that prior piece of threading there. And it's basically just overlapping and then moving forward and then going back and then moving forward. Or if you have a sewing machine, you could do that. Now back to the original casing. Each side is now sewn, and you can see on this side how the threading was very close to the edge for the blue shirt, as I just needed to make sure that there's enough room for the pillowcase in there. Now we're flipping it back into the correct way because we're going to add the cushion soon and then seal it. But you can see how the sides do look quite uniform now. Now I fold the cushion in half as I stuff it in. Makes it a little bit easier. I make sure that the corners fill out the corner of the case so that there's no gap or space at the bottom. And once it's in there, you can see how nice and snug it fits, and how the excess cloth is at the bottom. That's the front, and there's the back. Now we're going to tuck that in and begin to seal it shut. So with this, you're going to start at the very edge, and then you're going to push through, but you're going to go through the folds of the two sides of the material that have been folded inward, so that you can make the threading appear to be invisible. Make it appear to be sewn on the inside as the other three sides have been. So this thread color I'm using at this point is now green, I believe. So it's not as perfect. It would have been better had it been the darker blue, the darker navy, but I believe I ran out, or I just didn't have it. Okay, so see how the needle goes through that fold and into the other side, and you just keep sewing through, and then here you have it. You can see it looks normal. It looks covered. You can see the sides. The seams look very clean. And even the side that we closed, which was supposed to be like the invisible side, I'll show you. You know, there are some, you know, little green pieces showing here and there, but overall it looks very clean and it looks closed, and it looks quite seamless. And that's the pillow. And here it is on my son's couch, on his little sofa in his bedroom. Here's the other one we did with the shirt on the sofa in the living room. And here's the last one we did for the bed. Thank you so much for watching.